I hate skating in the rain, but you don't have to, because this video is one that I made specifically for you if you are having to skate in the rain, which eventually we all have to do, whether it's a competition or a training day or just because you live in Denmark and every day is rain day. Thankfully, there are a lot of ways that you can make that more comfortable, and I'm gonna go through all of those in this video. This may seem obvious, but be prepared for the rain, the wet, and the cold. So you want to wear gear, clothing that's adapted for it. Like usually if it's nice, if it's sunny, you simply just wear a skin suit when you're out racing or skating. But when it's wet, obviously it's going to be colder, but there are definitely a lot of clothing there. You can easily Google this and you're going to find that there are jackets similar to what you would wear if you're out cycling that you can put on. They will stay aerodynamic and they are pretty dang comfortable, and the same goes for tights like these. You can even find specific knees or specific sleeves that you can wear when you're out skating. My personal favorite are these. They're called zip tights. It's super convenient because then you can simply just untie them, and if you go for a race you can warm up in those, and then just before the race goes you untie those and you are ready to send it. And the same way, they're pretty easy to get back on here. Those are called zip tights and I would highly recommend those. Now the next step is doing the same for your feet and your skates. You can find boot covers that are made for these, where they really just have Velcro underneath here and they cover all of your foot. Even if you're not cold after skating for a while, if it's really heavy rain and really wet, that's gonna be in your boots. They're gonna be heavy, they're gonna be socky, and it's really not comfortable. So if you're able to kind of surround that area by something protective, and they have some really high quality, that will do wonders. The same goes for your gloves or a hat on your helmet. You can also find helmets that are aero and also closed off. That's gonna make it really comfortable when it rains. Eyewear is also extra essential when it's wet, and especially if it's raining. Make sure to wear glasses. It's very easy getting dust in your eyes, and that will take you out for a whole race, or it's just gonna give you a lot of pain if not. It is brilliant if you can find either some transparent glasses or even better, these ones that will simply just adapt for the amount of sunshine or the lack of sunshine as you race, because then if it clears up, say during a marathon or a long skating session, they're still gonna be perfect for the conditions. Some wheels are definitely better than others in the rain. The first piece of advice I would give you here, if it's a training session and you're really aiming to be good in the rain, I would wear 4 wheels because you have 4 contact points with the ground. That said, if you're used to 3 wheels or 4 wheels, that's probably gonna be the ideal choice for you. But it is worth just mentioning here that the more points of contact you have with the ground, obviously, the less you're gonna slide around. Say these ones, they're 3 wheels, but I have brand new wheels on them. If you're at the start of a race, obviously can't do that at every training session, but for a race, you would want to put brand new wheels on because that makes a massive difference. I also think you should test out your wheels in training, in the wet, beforehand, just to know if they are good in the rain. There have been brands, say Matter from Powerslide, that have been horrible in the rain, and then most of the MPC wheels are pretty hybrid, so they work in the wet and they also work in the rain. But one thing it all has in common, for them to stay grippy when it gets wet, you want them to be fairly new. So if you have some new wheels, just call them your rain wheels and keep them ready for that day when it all comes raining down. It's also super important that you are aware of the surface you're skating on. So if you have a track that's perfect tarmac all the way around, you can relax on it. You know it's going to be somewhat grippy even when it gets wet. But there are so many factors you need to keep in your mind. Say if you're racing the Berlin Marathon, there will be small trails of oil that's left there from the car, so that's going to be extra slippery. There's also going to be changes in the surface. Some is rough, some is smooth. And they're all different when it comes to grippiness in the rain. So test these out first and see what can you actually stay on and what will you just be sliding along the surface. And then ultimately, if there are leaves that fell off the trees or if there are small algae in the surface, that can be crazy slippery, basically like skating out on straight oil. So test the surface before you go and send it. Great thing to do if you're unaware of it and you have to turn. Like either if it's a straightaway, you just go a little lighter on your skates. If it's a turn, instead of doing your crossovers, maybe just try for a little bit and stand with both your legs. Separate them a little, put one a little ahead of the other, and that's gonna make you more stable. Even if you do slide out a little, it means you won't just crash on the ground, but you can slide with it. You made it, you went skating in the rain, you survived, and now you're back home. What is the first thing you're gonna have to do? Well, the first one, protect your bearings. If you don't do anything to your bearings, they are going to rust. That's chemistry, science, I can't help it. But there is a thing you can do to prevent that from happening. If you're not able to clean your bearings right away, make sure to put them in an airtight bag. That will give you a little more time before they get rusty, and then you can take care of this as you get home or get somewhere where you have the necessary means. When it comes to actually cleaning your bearings, I made a specific video for that. I'll leave a link here and you can check that one out. But essentially, you get rid of all the water and you get rid of all the dust, and then you oil them up so they're good to go for next time. For your skates, like obviously I just bring them in the shower with me. There's so much dust that can also get up there in the frame. So I bring them in the shower, I clean the skates properly, and then I put newspaper inside the skates, or I put, say, toilet paper or kitchen towels, but I think newspapers work extremely well, and also it's a little better for the environment. If you read a newspaper, you're not going to use it for much. I simply just roll that up and put it in there, and you would be very surprised how much moist and water that can actually suck out of there in very little time. I also want to put a big disclaimer out there: don't put them on a radiator or anything hot, because good skates are either made of plastic, or even better, they're made out of carbon. That can easily melt or soften up and lose that shape and not be as good as they were. So don't play around with that. I really hope you won't ever need this video, but statistically you probably are going to, whether you want it or not. The rain comes every now and then. We can't control that, and occasionally we have to skate in it. I also think sometimes it's not a bad idea to actually practice, like I do here, skating in the rain, because it happens. And it's better to be prepared for it than try and run from something you can't control. And one part of it is the equipment, but the other part is your actual skating, like your technical skating. How do you skate when it's a little slippery? I made a video on it, so go check that one out. I'll leave a link somewhere on the screen here, and it's just your job to click on it, and I'll see you there. But also, figure out the double push. It's better in the dry, and it's a lot better in the rain because you can't get as much out of that classical push. There is a training plan below. I think it's $75, and that's going to give you lifetime access. I put a lot of effort into it. I'm sure it's going to help you. So try that one out, or just subscribe here, or even better, become a premium member of my YouTube channel. That means that you're just going to have so many more videos on technique and equipment and gear, and also some behind the vlogs. What do I do when I'm at a World Cup? It's a lot of different stuff, and maybe it's fun watching. I don't know, but I'm definitely going to post about it. So that way you're going to help me out in my journey towards, you know, World Cups and World Championships and my 4th Olympics in some years. And I would love that. So click join if you want to. If not, I'll just see you for the next video. I'll go skate.